Every sport has at least one overly dangerous segment. It is within these segments that a large number of concussions occur. A prime example of this would be the kickoff in football. The idea of having individuals charging at each other full speed makes the game far more dangerous than it needs to be. One option would be to remove the dangerous parts altogether. This would remove the problem, but would more than likely upset the people we are trying to help. Another option would be to modify these dangerous parts to lessen the threat. For instance, in the kickoff, the opposing team could start where the ball lands. Dr. Robert Cantu, chairman of the Department of Surgery at Emerson Hospital and co-director of the Center for the Study of Traumatic Encephalopathy at the Boston University School of Medicine, said, "We're going to be recommending that nobody under the age of 14 be involved in collision sports. This tender age is when children undergo the most dramatic mental changes. Change can be a scary thing for people to face, but with patience and care, it can lead to perfection. This is the least expensive route to take. However, it is also the most extreme since it requires dramatic changes." Protective gear is a great way to stay safe while playing a contact sport. However, many youth teams struggle to provide up-to-date equipment. If teams were able to provide better protective equipment, then the risks of concussions would go down. To help pay for it, club sports would either raise the admission cost to the sport or do fundraisers for those who can't afford the better equipment. A more futuristic approach would be to try out X-Nano, created by BYU student Jake Merrill. With this foam, coaches and referees would be able to test the severity of hits and how much damage they actually cause in real time. Another option would be using flex helmets. These helmets are designed to flex when force is applied. This will help reduce the amount of force the player's head will receive by distributing the impact. This route would be the most expensive, but also be the greatest investment, as it provides the greatest protection with minimal change. The CDC estimates that there are 1.6 million to 3.8 million concussions each year. Many of them could have been avoided if people would have been able to recognize the symptoms of a concussion sooner. If concussion awareness classes were provided for the players, coaches, referees, and parents, then everyone involved in the sport can be on the lookout for concussion victims. With as many as 10% of contact sports athletes receiving concussions yearly, having people well educated could save that 10% from permanent and irreparable damage. Common signs of concussions include confusion, dizziness, loss of memory, and loss of consciousness. With the exception of the latter, many of the symptoms can be hard to spot in the excitement of the game. However, after taking concussion awareness classes, the players, coaches, referees, and parents will be able to better spot the symptoms, even amongst the chaos of the game. The cost of these classes could be very low if done in the form of informative videos and local health representatives to supervise them. With professional supervising, everyone in the class will have a better idea of what symptoms of concussions are and how to recognize them. If concussion symptoms were made more known to everyone, then everyone could rest assured that someone has their back. Concussions are a very dangerous thing, and with 29% of all sports-related concussions happening to teenagers 16 to 19 years old, it's clear something needs to be done to safeguard our future. By changing the rules around, we could craft an old and dangerous sport into something far safer and more enjoyable. With sufficient funding, players could be equipped with the latest and greatest protective gear. Last but not least, if we educate everyone involved in these sports about concussions, then we will be able to spot a concussion victim before it gets worse. With even just one of these implementations, I know that we can protect our children and protect them from suffering through any concussions.